Yo, 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 yo. We are the ill-advised wise guys. It's your boy Uchay. I got my boy
QDeezy for Sheezy. It's way too easy. I'm supposed to finish it with a punchline, right? Supposed to finish it with a punchline. I had a good ass burger at BGREZ. Damn, that joint was so good. I'm still thinking about it. You know what? Let me ask you something. What is your favorite secret sauce? You know when they say secret sauce, which kind of sounds disgusting these days, but what is your favorite out of all the restaurants? Out of all the restaurants, you know, we all know McDonald's is the GOAT with the secret sauce, but like I feel like every chain has a secret sauce. Like, what's your favorite? You know, there's Chick-fil-A sauce. There's Megan Thee Stallion sauce.
There's Saucy Santana. It's like, nah, I'm joking. No, I mean, how many people even have what they would call secret sauce? I mean, I guess
yum sauce.
Yum sauce. That's the ones that'll be at like the Japanese like hibachi joints, right? The yellow.
They're all the same.
I never eat it. Never eat it.
Me neither.
I never use it.
Me neither.
To be honest with you, I'm gonna be a lame, but I really don't think this is lame. Chick-fil-A sauce. I love it. It's
Chick-fil-A
great.
sauce is considered pretty much the GOAT.
But see, here's the trick about Chick-fil-A sauce. And y'all are gonna feel me out there if you know. You can't use it on the fries. It has to be eaten part of the burger. I'm sorry, the sandwich. You have to dip it or put it in the burger. Like, you can't be dipping the fries in the Chick-fil-A. That's true.
I hate when people do that.
Bro, this looks so weird.
I dip it, you know, chicken nuggets too. They got the little chicken, whatever. That's what it's mainly for. But when people take the fries and
that's doing too much. It's doing too much. What about you?
Who raised you? You know, I'm gonna be even lamer than you. I still think out of all the secret sauces, the McDonald's secret sauce is still the best.
Bro,
that joint is so good.
Bro, how old are you, man?
So good. Come on, man. Come on.
Bro, this is how you know the McDonald's joint is trash. I'm gonna tell you exactly why.
Trash? Okay, now you're taking it too far.
Okay, it's an exaggeration. That's the word. AKA trash. This is how you know. They only put it on the Big Mac.
That's true. But that don't mean it's
why
trash.
is it not on anything else except for the Big Mac? That's how you know it ain't that good. If it was that good, they would have put it on everything.
You can ask for it. They put it on it.
No.
Back in the day, the poor kids used to put it on McDoubles. Hey, can I get a McDouble with secret sauce because they can't afford the Big Mac?
Nah, man.
But let me tell you something. You slander McDonald's secret sauce, but every secret sauce is built on the back of that secret sauce. McDonald's is the first to do the secret sauce, and everybody copies now. Because you notice it's all yellow? How come there's no blue secret sauce, huh? How come there's no orange secret sauce? It's all yellow. McDonald's created the secret sauce.
Hey, my brother.
Put some respect
on
McDonald's name.
I believe you should have been enlisted to diss Arby's and Pusha T. You got a lot of energy for McDonald's. Do you need to diss somebody? I mean, I can hit them up and be like, yo, I have somebody you should get to rap. Since you like to rap so damn much.
Pusha T, we had a diss record. We had a diss record in the queue for Pusha T. It's sitting there. It's still sitting. All we got to do is press upload. And let me just put it this way. We go reserve the diss record. Let's put it this way. Your Arby's, yeah, right.
Okay.
Arby's.
Listen,
Pusha
man.
T selling out. Pusha T selling out.
Listen, man.
On that Arby's one.
Let that man live. Let's start the show, man. Let's start the show. All right. This is episode 123. We in the place to be. Hey, thank you guys for joining us. Welcome back to another episode of the Ill-Advised Wise Guys podcast. Yeah, man, you guys should know who we are by now, hopefully. But if you don't, hey, listen, my name is Uchay. This is Q. We have some dope topics for you guys coming up on this episode. And, although it's not that sunny where we are today, we hope if you listen, we brighten up your day.
Ooh, that's adorable.
You like that, man?
Aw.
You like that? You like that, bruh? Yeah. Anywho, Man, hey, let's get to the shenanigans, man. We have a lot of things to cover, but before we tell you guys what's on the episode, make sure if you are watching this on YouTube, you hit that like button, you hit the subscribe button, you stay a little while, even hit the post notification if you're one of those type of people. But please don't if you're not. Subscribe on any platform you're listening to this via, whether it's Audio Mac, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, blah, blah, blah. Y'all know what it is. Just hit the subscribe button wherever you're listening to this, and let's get it going. 0 skips. Yeah. Broken record, I know. Listen, that playlist is going up, man. We've got a lot of people asking about how they can get on the playlist, why y'all didn't approve my song to be on the playlist. Hey, man, I really like your playlist. Hey, man, hey, can I get featured? The answer is maybe. All right?
Jeez.
No, it really is. Like, we'll get to you guys. Like, we do listen to everybody's submission, though. I will say that. And so, hey, man, check it out, though. It's on Spotify exclusively. It'll be in the description of this episode if you want to check it out. And as always, keep in mind, make sure you're following us on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. My personal Instagram /account is UCHAYVA. Follow my man QD at
QD is not available on Twitter. QDeezy, Fosheezy on Instagram, and at your local Giant and Shoppers. On the Brussels sprouts aisle. Yeah, I eat Brussels sprouts. I'm black. I eat it. So
I hear you,
I like
man.
Brussels sprouts. I like greens.
I got you, man. Listen, follow that, man. This borderline vegan, huh? You on your vegan tip?
Hell no, I can't be vegan, but vegetarian, I can see it.
I got you,
but do not forget to check me out also on Ratings Game Music. I forgot to mention that, aka RGM, often imitated but never emulated.
Bars.
we got album reviews. Future, obviously his new album. We got an album review for Kalani. I thought that joint was fantastic, by the way. And we got an album review for Action Bronson, which might be album of the year. Figure out why I said it's album of the year, or it might be, by checking out our site, ratingsgamemusic.com.
Best music review site in the world, I might add.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Somebody else said it. That's 2 people now.
Yeah.
We got 2.
We're the only 2 in the world. But hey,
we need a testimony.
It starts with 1 and 2, and then it gets to 3, 4, and then 1 million, right? Isn't that how that shit works?
It really is. No, I firmly believe it is the best song and album review site on the planet. I really, really believe that.
Yo,
I'm not biased.
One day we're going to come in here and actually have a real discussion as far as like what sites are really better. Because like when we say that, it sounds like cap, don't it?
It's not cap. Exactly.
Don't it sound like cap when you say it? It sounds like you're exaggerating.
It does.
We're going to come in here one day and actually break it down for y'all.
I'm telling you.
Take our
we
word
go
for it, guys.
toe with the best.
Take our word for it, man. Hit ratingsgamemusic.com for all your music needs. And yeah, man, let's get to the topics, man. I'm going to break it down for you guys. Your guy, maybe not your guy, QD, but some of you guys who are out there who like DDG, the rapper, he got into a little bit of hot water saying that today's rappers are 10 times better than the ones before. I thought it was a very polarizing statement. Some may say it was a dumb statement. Some may say he's 100% right. Either way, you stand on this. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty and give you guys our opinions as far as like whether DDG was tripping or not. After that, we're going to talk about whether streaming should be a top priority for artists of today, or if not, what should some artists, whether they're indie or even, on the cusp of mainstream, be kind of looking to add to their portfolio? What should they what should they be looking to add to what they have going on? Because hey, streaming is a very, I don't want to say non-lucrative endeavor. We all know, like, a lot of people don't even know how much a stream is worth. Some people say it's worth pennies on the dollar. So maybe you should be doing other things. We're going to get into that discussion, though. And I got to say shout out to Mimi, a.k.a. Music Junkies, for throwing us that topic, And then we're going to get into the ill and the not so advised, right? We're going to tell you guys what is ill. We're going to tell you guys what is not so advised. And come with us along this journey. And so, but first, let's get into the first topic, man. And we're going to get to the shits on this. I'm going to tell you right now, this is trigger alert, trigger warning. The question I have for you, Q, and for the world out there is Future the best rapper alive right now?
Is Future the best rapper alive right now? Could you clarify, please, Your Honor?
Well, first off, I'm Your Honor. I don't need to clarify anything. But I think you have the wrong person in the courtroom. Listen, the judge don't clarify a damn thing. The decision is the decision. But
True.
I'm gonna do it for you though. So Future, you know, Mr. Hendrix, Pluto.
Yes.
Come on, man. He got a lot of nicknames at this point.
Toxic God.
Toxic King. Mr. Tell Steve Harvey I don't wanna, you know. I mean, come on.
Oh my God, that's
he got
that's
a lot,
the
bro.
greatest line ever.
Listen, he just dropped a new album. You like that line, don't you?
I
Yeah.
love that line, man.
Everything
it's so
everybody does.
disrespectful, but
It
it's
is.
like, you know, and he repeated it. Tell Steve Harvey I don't wanna. Wow, that tune is so hard.
Yo,
But anyway, go
and he
ahead,
put
sorry.
it in the hook too. That was the hardest part. Well, not the hook,
Yeah,
it was like
that's
the bridge
hard.
or whatever. Yeah,
I like Steve Harvey too. I like Steve Harvey. I don't have no beef with Lloyd Harvey, Steve Harvey.
Me neither, man.
I just thought it was hard, like, you know. But anyway,
Look, man, Future Hendrix just dropped a new album called "I Never Liked You," which I think is a very interesting title. And you and I both heard the album, right? You've heard it. You've reviewed it. You know the album the ins and outs of the album. I think that right now the conversation is starting to swirl around Future, and especially I'll give you guys some more context. GQ put out a article recently that crowned Future as the best rapper alive, and it was written by Elliot Wilson, who also, I believe, he started Rap Radar, like whatever. Anyway. Y'all can go read the article if you want. I'm just letting you know that this is what the world is talking about right now. And I think that we've had a lot of back channel conversations about Future's impact over the years. Who has he influenced? Who has he not? Where does Future rank in your influence meter, your rankings? Is he the best rapper alive? Yes or no?
you know why I'm laughing right now?
What's up?
Is he the best rapper alive right now? Whew, that's a tough one, man. I mean, Drake is a rapper, right? J. Cole's a rapper, right?
Drake is a pop singer. It's like, nah.
Kendrick Lamar is a rapper, right? Big Sean's a rapper, right? So it's like Future, from the rapping skill standpoint, is probably not better from a rapping standpoint. However, from an influential standpoint, he does maybe, arguably, trumps all those people from an influential standpoint. So the question of, is he the best rapper alive right now? I would say he's more so the hottest rapper right now. And there was several things. So first and foremost, you know why I was laughing a little bit or smiling a little bit while you were talking? You know why? Because do you know how many times I am right on this on this show? I say certain things. You guys look at it and you poo-poo it like Stephen A. and all them people say. You poo-poo the stuff I say. Remember episode, whatever, 50-something, I don't know, 60-something.
Uh-huh.
I said, yo, Lil Wayne and Future, who's more influential? I said Future. Everybody was coming at me like, yo, Lil Wayne, blah, 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 blah. This is ridiculous. Don't look as ridiculous, does it anymore, huh? Don't look as ridiculous no more, does it? All right, but anyway, I'll let that go.
I actually do remember. I do remember that.
You remember that, right?
I said Wayne. I said
Yeah,
Wayne.
yeah. Doesn't it look a lot closer to Future these days?
Look.
It does.
It
It does.
I'm gonna tell you right now. And I'm gonna let you go real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's debatable.
I don't think it's debatable
It's
anymore.
debatable, bro.
I don't think it's debatable anymore. You know, and I'll explain why.
Keep going. I don't want to interrupt too much. I'm just saying it's debatable.
I don't think it's debatable. I don't think it's debatable anymore. So Future, it's Future's lifestyle, right? First and foremost, Future's lifestyle is so interesting. You know, when we were talking to our homegirl, right, the other day, she said, I don't really follow Future, but like understanding that when he was with Sierra, I kind of got a chance to know who Future was, you know? So I think women, you know, understand who Future is. People that are not even his music fans, like, understand who he is because, you know, the stuff he's done in the past. Linked to Sierra, linked to Lori Harvey. You know, there's Future has been quoted in several different things, and at the end of the day, like, he's more than just the music. He's kind of a symbol of your bachelor 30-year-old man that we all are familiar with, and for women they actually deal with. So from that sense, they know who he is. From a music standpoint, I think if we can argue that trap music is the biggest subgenre of hip hop right today. You hear trap music on commercials, you hear it used in pop music, et cetera, et cetera. Well, if trap music is the biggest genre in music today, who is the number one trapper in the game? I don't think that's arguable. It's Future. Future is the number one trap artist in hip hop history. I'm gonna go in hip hop history. Kudos to Gucci Mane, kudos to Jeezy, kudos to whoever you want to say, Thugger, T.I., whatever. Future is number one trap artist in the history of hip hop. I can argue that trap music is the biggest subgenre hip hop has ever had. I can argue that. Will I be wrong? I don't know. But I can argue that. So there's several titles that Future can say he's held. And now Future is actually his record, his album, his first week sales. Do you know what's supposed to be the highest in hip hop this year? His first week sales? He's supposed to sell 150K to 170K. Doesn't sound like a lot these days. I mean, back then it don't sound like a lot, but these days that's a lot. That's a lot. So he's selling.
Well, let's be very clear. That's until Kendrick Lamar drops. But keep going.
I mean, obviously until Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. I mean, you got to throw that in there.
So Future is selling, right? With not much pub. Future is one of the only artists that, like, who has beef with him? Like, NBA YoungBoy pays homage to Future. Dirk pays homage to Future. Gucci Mane. Young Thug is like, that's his idol. Like, Future is a legendary classic figure that is still doing his thing. And that, you know, at this moment, I think the biggest point is he has his fingernails. He has his imprint on hip hop. Hip hop goes as far as Future goes. The moment Future retires and no longer has influence in hip hop, we don't know where it's gonna go. And so, will I say I wouldn't say he's the greatest rapper alive right now, but I would say he's the most important rapper in hip hop today. Future.
Okay. For those of you guys listening, I nodded my head in agreement for the vast majority of stuff you was talking about. So you make some valid and great points. And actually, I like how you landed. I do. I really like how you landed where you ended off, because important is your key word. I'll go with another word that starts with I. Influential. Because look, man, for everything that you just said, I got to use the word influential. I have to, because, you know, it's okay. So let me back up, man. Future, right? He dropped his the album The Wizard. I don't know if you remember that album. What was it? 2-3 albums ago, called The Wizard. Well, along with that album came a documentary, right? He was giving backstory about where he was in life. Thought it was pretty good. Pretty well-produced documentary. It had a whole bunch of people vouching for Future's greatness. One particular person stood out to me, and that was Andre 3000. Andre 3000 was on that documentary talking about how he and his son love Future, and that he said, and I quote, Future makes the most negative, inspirational music ever. This is what Andre 3000 said. I couldn't help but to be like, damn, yo, like that's one of the best compliments, the backhanded compliments I've ever heard in my life. Like, wow, like he is right on the money. And so from a lifestyle standpoint, from a content standpoint, everything Future brings to the table, the drug references, the womanizer references, the toxicity in his songwriting and what he brings to the table is so accurate. You can really see Future's fingerprints and traces all throughout hip hop right now. So from an influence standpoint and impact, Future 100% is up there, if not number one. And even I would argue, musically speaking, what he's been able to do over trap beats, the melody, the singing, the giving you the pain, giving you the pop and bottle, giving you the lifestyle aspect, bro. I think everybody out here is trying to emulate Future, to be honest with you, at this point. And so, you know, going back to my original question, is Future the best rapper alive right now? You know, to me, the real question is, what does best mean? When I hear the word best, to me, I think of impact. I think of influence. I think of what are the artists, what are the rappers out right now that everybody is looking at as the guy, but who is their rapper? You know how people say, I'm your favorite rapper's favorite rapper? Well, guess what? The majority of y'all favorite rappers right now, I'm talking about rappers, they look up to Future. They say Future is the OG. Future is the godfather of what is being done right now. So from that standpoint, for him to be the godfather but still be active, putting out albums in today's climate and it resonating, bro, he has a very strong case for being the best rapper right now. He really does. Like, I'm trying to be objective about this. We can go back and forth about some of these other people like Cole, Drake, Kendrick, some of these other dudes out here, Travis Scott. The list is very long, right? But impact-wise, who has been trying to emulate Future? I think that is really where you see Future's impact. Because let's be honest, some of these other dudes are godfathers in their own right. I hear a lot of people who sound like Cole, maybe not the amount of Future. I hear some people who try to emulate what Kendrick does, maybe not to his greatness or maybe not to the extent. You know, I hear some people who try to sound like Travis Scott throughout the years. You know, there are people who are influencing other rappers too, but I think Future in particular has the crown as far as influence and impact. I mean, would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I like you said, if you actually pay attention, I want to say this. You know, we're not going to get to talk about this topic because I think we just scrapped it at the end, at the last minute. But if you actually think about how much music me and you consume and how much we actually know about what we're talking about. So like when we come out and say certain stuff, like we ain't just pulling it out the ass and we ain't trying to do it for shock value. Right? We actually know because we've done research. We've heard music, probably more than most people. When I tell you in my research of artists, I personally work on Submit Hub, right? Submit Hub is a place where, you know, check us out on Submit Hub, by the way. On Submit Hub, we get new artists, all this stuff that you know, asks us to look at their music and stuff. When I tell you majority of the hip hop artists, their influence, it varies. Juice WRLD's on there. Future is always on there. Future. People in the hip hop community look up to Future more than anybody else I've seen. Lil Wayne had a moment where a lot of people were rapping like Lil Wayne, and that's his influence. But it's one thing to actually listen to Lil Wayne and actually like what he's doing, as opposed to saying, I want to be this guy. Here is who I aspire to be. And I think Future is somebody that a lot of people aspire to be. So I'm going to say something that might go over you guys' head, but please take it, right? So to me, with Future, right? Future to me is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Right now, people are calling Giannis Antetokounmpo the best NBA player in the world. Kevin Durant is like the Drakes and the Kendrick Lamars and the J. Coles of the world. Kevin Durant is capable of putting up shots that your average person can't put up. However, Giannis Antetokounmpo is a workhorse that is super talented that just grinds his way to success. Future, I say that to say this. Future's work ethic is impeccable. Future's gauge of the game, the hip hop game. I was just looking while you were talking. I was looking at all the collaborative albums that he's done. He's done a collaboration album with Drake. He's done a collaboration album with Juice WRLD.
I was about to get
into that. He's done a collaboration album with Lil Uzi Vert. He's done a collaboration album. It's like, and every single time you hear Future, right? He just fits in. What does that tell you? Future just fits. Like, it doesn't matter where you put it. Future fits on anything. He's on so many guest features, and you're just like, oh, Future's on the song. He fits it. As opposed to, let's say, to me, I don't want to be negative or anything, but let's say like a J. Cole, right? J. Cole has a bunch of guest features, right? As of late, he's been killing guest features.
Yep.
But every time I hear J. Cole on a song, I'm like, oh, damn, J. Cole's on the song. Oh, hell yeah, J. Cole killed it. He doesn't necessarily mesh with what the song is, right? Because you're so used to him doing his own thing. When he steps outside of the box, you're like, damn, J. Cole, he sounds really good when he steps outside of the box.
Yeah.
Every single style of hip hop, Future has done. Every single style of hip hop, Future could fit. What that tells me is hip hop, where hip hop is today, was helped molded by Future. He helped mold it. Hip hop wouldn't
100%.
sound like hip hop today if it wasn't for Future. That's essentially what I'm trying to say.
You're 100% on the money, and like even people that you don't even associate with trap music have over the years have tried to steal the sound. You know, and when I say steal, I mean I should say steal, utilize it for their benefit, whether it's Beyonce, whether it's Jay-Z. You know, they've gotten over they've rapped over trap songs. They've been a part of these types of these type of ways, because I think Future's biggest crowning achievement, and you kind of opened with this to a degree, is the fact that a subgenre of hip hop, aka trap, has become the most popular subgenre of the overall genre we're talking about, which is hip hop. That right there tells you everything you need to know. And who is at the forefront of that? It's Future. He's the one who ushered in this sound when this particular sound, whether it's, we go back to his collaboration with YC with Racks on Racks, right? Back when we heard Future featured, at least me, I'll speak for myself, I heard Future featured for the first time, had no idea who this guy was. I always liked that song, but I didn't realize that Future was the one who was making that song hot. When I found out that Future was the one on that hook, it was no coincidence that right after that, he dropped the Pluto album, and he was gone. He was out of here ever since. Pluto, yep. I mean, you name it. He's dropped album after album, impacted the world. Like you said, the collaboration projects, it goes on and on. And I'm going to tell you right now, people can talk all they want, and they have a valid argument, a.k.a. Andre 3000, 3 Stacks. Valid argument to question the substance of the music, right? What is the takeaway? Has the music impacted the world for the better or for the good? That's a whole different discussion, okay? If we're going on that discussion, I have a lot of negative things to potentially say about Future. But if we're just talking about who has impacted the genre, bro, Future's the guy. Future's the guy. I'm sorry. Take it or leave it, guys.
And I know the typical person's like, oh, what about measurements? I'm looking at his catalog. Do you know he's on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 album streak of number 1, debuting number 1? 7. Did you know that? I actually didn't know that. Every album he's dropped since DS2, since Honest was the last album he dropped that did not go number one.
And I love that joint.
Yeah, and he was just starting out.
One of my
he was just starting out. He was just starting out at that time, right? So here's another kicker. Every album he's dropped has gone at least gold.
Hey,
literally every album he's dropped has gone at least gold.
Can I say this for the record? Just for the record.
Mm-hmm.
For the record. This is how important Future is, okay? I'm going to tell you how important Future is, in my personal opinion. DS2 is arguably arguably one of the top or most important albums in hip-hop history.
It is.
Period.
It is.
Okay?
It is.
Now, I know people think of Illmatic. People think of, Life After Death. People, you can think of Biggie's albums. You can think of all these people from back in the day. Kendrick, To Pimp a Butterfly, this, that, and the third. I'm going to tell you right now, DS2 is probably a top 10 most important hip-hop album throughout the existence of hip-hop. Now, go chew on that, guys.
I wholeheartedly agree.
If you think I'm wrong,
I wholeheartedly agree.
Go do your Googles.
I can argue it is the most important because what he was able to do on there, I think it shifted it made the world uncomfortable. I think the greatest in whatever field they are in, when you make somebody uncomfortable with what your approach is, I think that's a level of greatness. I think that he is so unapologetically who he is. He's forcing you to digest music about drugs, womenizing, all this stuff. He does it so great and it's so normal now. But like, we had to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable listening to his stuff. And I think that's kind of a sign of greatness from his part because it kind of championed the sound that like, wow, that's kind of going left field. But so I do want to bring this part of the topic up. I recently heard on a song by Future, he said he's bigger than Jay-Z in the streets. Are we going that far? Do we think Future has trumped Jay-Z when it comes to influence on the hip hop and the street community?
Woo! Look, man, listen, everything we just said about Future, to me, I believe to be 100% true. And I'm going to just tell you this, whether you guys like it or not, Future has a point. He may have a slight argument. And I don't want the waters to get muddied. I don't want y'all to conflate certain ideas. Nobody is talking about the substance. Nobody's talking about the character of the music. Nobody's talking about the rapping ability, whether it's metaphors, this, that, and the third. We talking impact. We're talking impact, guys. I got to keep saying that. If we keep it to that, how do you measure impact? For me, you know how I measure impact? How many people resonate with your music? How many women love it? How many men love it? How many rappers who do the same thing want to be like you? How many rappers emulate your style? How many rappers want to work with you? They look at you and say, you're the guy. They pay homage at every respect, right? Streets to me imply a whole different thing. So I'm not part of the street life, but I'm gonna say this, man. Like if we just talking about who the people in the inner cities, who the people who are abreast to what trap music has become, who are abreast to the state of trap music and how big of a subgenre that shit has become just over the years, then I think Future may have an argument to say he's bigger than Jay. Now let's be clear. I want to be fair. I want to be very fair. Because we're forgetting Jay-Z's damn near 60, right? How old is Jay-Z at this point, man? Bro, isn't he like 57? How old is this guy? I mean, like,
he's like 56. He was born 1969. So
okay.
He's 53.
Okay, fair enough. So what I don't want us to do is have revisionist history, right? I know you have a problem with this too. You wanted to bring that up.
52.
He's 52.
Sorry,
Okay.
52, because his birthday is December 4th, I believe. See, I'm not even looking at anything. I just know from his music. That's how much of a Jay-Z fan I am. So
Yo, bro.
don't think I'm just trashing Jay-Z. But anyway.
Let me tell you some of the key and pivotal things that Jay-Z has brought to the game, right? Number one, for me, there's probably a Jay-Z bar for every aspect in life. Like, literally, you could probably look at Jay-Z's lyrics, and he has probably spoke on something that can relate to something in your life that will help you progress forward. That's number one. Number two, this is what nobody talks about. The aspect of not writing your lyrics. I don't know if people remember this, but Jay-Z popularized that. The freestyling off the top, not writing down your lyrics.
He did.
Pivotal contribution to hip hop, because after Jay did it, Lil Wayne was probably the next best person who kind of coined it and said, I'm doing it. And what have we seen ever since that? Everyone
does it.
Everyone says, yo, I don't write my rhymes. Man, I just freestyle, go in the booth, this, that, and the third. Bro, that's straight from the backs of Jay-Z. Jay-Z was the guy who did that. Let's not forget. I know people are not going to remember that, but I got to say that in there.
Talent-wise, Jay-Z's the greatest rapper I've ever seen. Like,
sheer talent.
I think from a talent standpoint, from a intellectual standpoint, Jay-Z is probably the smartest MC I've ever heard in my life. Like, some of the things he was saying in his music, like, you had to re-listen to it a couple times to, like, really get it. Like, you know, and he has multiple, you know, punchlines that, like, are meaningful, are deep. And what he has stood for from a business standpoint is unmatched. What Jay-Z has done from a business standpoint for the hip hop community and for just the black community in general, unmatched. But the beautiful thing about that comment about, you know, Future claiming he's bigger than Jay-Z in the streets is that the streets don't care about that. The streets don't care about punchlines and meaningfulness. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's like, think about the term street ball. Street ball is synonymous with, we're not calling those stupid fouls. We're not going to over here and care about, you know, like, you know, travels as much. Like, this ain't the NBA. You know what I mean? When you talk about street ball, this is street ball. It's different rules. It's rougher. It's more careless. It's carefree. We don't care. That's what I think Future is referring to. In the streets. Streets is not business. And in the streets, what do the streets care about? Streets care about, you know, the men in the streets care about women. They care about beats that knock. They care about songs they can feel. They care about stuff they can relate to. They care about popping bottles. And Future has embodied that. Future is one of the biggest street dudes that probably has money out the wazoo. Like, Future is influential to a standpoint in the streets that I don't think Jay-Z is. I'm just being real. I'm just being honest from a street standpoint, right? And I'm gonna go a step further. There was a comment that I guess Jay-Z said nobody can beat him in a versus, and Future said that I can beat Jay-Z in a versus, and everybody wanted to give uproar. I'm telling you right now, put it on wax. We may never get a Jay-Z interview ever again, but hey, whatever, or ever. We may not get a Jay-Z.
You said
I'm telling
again.
you right now, we're never gonna get one ever. I'm telling you right now, Future would wax Jay-Z. Are you kidding me? Future versus Jay-Z in a versus battle, and I love Jay-Z. I love Jay-Z. I love him. Like, tell people how many times when we were younger, how much I love Jay-Z. Like, me and my brother, like, we love Jay-Z. But I'm telling you right now, in a versus battle, which is clearly more like street influence, it's no business to a versus battle. If we're talking about a street-inspired versus, Future is waxing. It's not close. But I don't think anybody's beating Future in a versus, honestly. Honestly, I don't see anybody beating Future in a versus.
I think Future's tough, man. He's tough. To be honest with you, I'm throwing Wayne in the mix. I think Wayne has he has a shot. He has a solid chance for that to be a 10-round bout. Like that ain't gonna be no wash at all. Let's be very clear. No wash.
Future, bruh. Let me tell you something. I'm just gonna say.
Slept on. Future super slept on.
I'm just gonna say right now.
Discography wise.
You know how Jeezy, people claim Jeezy beat Gucci Mane. Jeezy really beat him off of like Thug Motivation 101. Like Thug Motivation 101 is really what like had Gucci Mane having a battle, uphill battle. If DS2 is ever used in a versus battle, bruh, thought it was a drought?
Man. Bro, come on.
Dog.
Yeah. Look.
Trap niggas effing up some commas? Yeah, Real Sisters?
I'm going to tell you right now.
March Madness? Come on, man.
Look, bro.
Come on.
To be honest with you, I will not agree with that statement. Ain't nobody washing. He's not washing Jay-Z, okay? Like, calm down. Okay? Calm the fuck down, all right? I'm gonna say that respectfully. Chill out. You wildin'. I gotta bring you back, okay?
Wait, washing. Okay.
But here's
washing to me means they only won by 2 points.
That's not a wash. Hell nah. Yo, hey, listen. If somebody beats, okay.
No, I'm wildin'. He ain't washing him. He ain't washing him. I got my money on him.
This is not what this is about because they're never gonna do a versus. It won't happen. But you know what? Hey, maybe we can do a fake versus. I'll represent Jay-Z. I'll be Jay-Z.
I represent Future.
You represent Future, and we can see what that even looks like. No wash will exist.
But I like Jay-Z more than you. Let me represent Jay-Z.
Okay. All right. Do that then.
And I'm still gonna think I'll be like, yo, hey, we gotta pull out the stops on this one. Damn. I freaking wiping sweat off my face because I truly, but I'm no cap. Like,
but
I truly believe that.
But here's the thing. To me, and I last thing I'll say, I think we should move on. Yeah. It's apples and oranges, bro. It's apples and oranges. There's a reason why. When they do versus battles or just any type of competition,
it's similar people.
It has to be similar type of music. To me, that we can't have a damn Waka Flocka versus Questlove. Like what kind of shit versus freaking Black Thought?
Yeah, but
that don't even make sense. Like it doesn't make sense.
When you reach to a certain level of greatness, I think you can. When you get to a certain level of greatness, it's no coincidence that they're comparing Lawrence Taylor to Tom Brady. They're two completely different eras, two completely different positions, but they compare them. They're like, who's the greatest NFL player of all time? Tom Brady, Lawrence Taylor. But for people that have not reached that level of greatness, I'm never going to compare Cam Jordan to freaking... to freaking Carson Wentz or something. Like, nah, it doesn't even make sense. But like when you get to a level of greatness, it's fair game, I think.
That's fair. That's fair. It's tough for me, man, because like impact of the music, it hits different. But hey, man, listen, I don't know, man. If you really up for that versus, man, we could try to do that. I think that would be hella interesting. That would be very entertaining.
We will not be using verses with the user. Our lawyers or something. All rights reserved.
Yeah, hella disclaimers. Yo, let's keep it moving.
All right, next topic. There was a lot of generational shade going on in that last topic, and I think we're gonna keep it going. The generational shade.
Yeah.
Next topic, DDG says today's rappers are 10 times, not 2 times, not 3 times, not 5 times, 10 times better than the other generational rappers. So, is that a ridiculous statement? I'm asking you.
Yo, let me
your answer, Mr. NASA.
Hey, sir. Hey, all I gotta say is in the
Blast off.
In the words of DDG. I'm gonna take off this space like I'm Elon Musk. Like I'm Elon Musk.
That song's fire.
Take me off this space like I'm Elon Musk. Very appropriate, right? NASA shirt. Hey, space, Elon. Yeah, see what I did? Anyway, I think that while that statement by DDG sounds blasphemous, I think he has an angle. He has a point. I'm gonna tell you why, guys.
I like that you said angle.
Yeah.
You know how to do this. You know how to you know how to spread misinformation.
Wink, 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 wink. Hey, listen, man. Hey, You know, Elon, speaking of misinformation, that's what Elon Musk is trying to do. He's trying to clean up the misinformation on Twitter, okay?
Exactly.
Look, man, maybe this is what Elon was really talking about. Maybe when he heard DDG say this on Twitter, he was like, listen, this is why I'm buying it. This is why I'm buying Twitter, for people to not say crazy shit like this. But no, back to this. I think I think DDG has a point, because we can talk all day about which era was better in hip hop, which I know a lot of people, they feel how they're gonna feel, and that's cool. Some people think the 90s was the heyday, the golden era. Some people think it was the 80s. Some people think it was the 70s. Some people think right now is the golden era. So think how you want to think, feel how you want to feel. That's up to you. But in terms of which era of rappers were better, I think DDG has a point, because when I hear the word better, I'm thinking creatively. I'm thinking talent. I'm thinking who can do more. You know, to me, I'm going to tell you one thing. This generation of rappers, they're more melodic. They understand the concept of music. The songs are better, if you ask me. The artists themselves are a little bit more dynamic, right? I think there is a real argument to be made about the fact that these artists of today are capable of doing more things that could potentially make you better. Now, I know that doesn't apply in all situations, because there's clearly a lot of artists that are still putting out trash, that are putting out garbage that has no substance, that literally is not mixed mastered. It doesn't stack up well versus, you know, artists that are taking it more seriously. But I think when we talk about which generation of artists are actually better, DDG has a point. What does DDG do? That's the question. He's a rapper who he raps pretty well. He has bars when he wants to. He can sing. He has melody. His songs are structured very well. You think about Drake. Why do people think about Drake as a pop star? There's people who try to discard what Drake does every chance they get, is because there's a lot of people who refuse to accept the fact that artists of today are capable of doing more than artists back then. So even the artists like Drake, who we say, man, he sings, he raps, phenomenal rapper. What did you, Q, say on the last episode about Drake? You say, yo.
Oh, I raved.
Exactly. And the reason why you raved is, I think, for the exact point that DDG is making, okay? Is a reason why people like Drake are in that conversation. They are able to make music at, I think, a better level. And I hate to shit on the rappers of the past, but if I'm being honest, rappers of the past were very specialized, right? They focused on one thing. They weren't able to really get out of their comfort zone too much. And I think that's what made maybe back then special. But if we're asking ourselves and yourselves, what does better mean? Talent-wise, rappers of today, they're better. And I say that with my chest. It's not even a debate, actually. It's not a debate.
So DDG is right.
He's
10 times.
Listen.
10 times better.
Rappers are 2 times better. I'm not going 10 times like him, okay? Listen, Elon, I still want to go to space. Yeah. Take me to NASA.
I concur. I mean, it's so funny. Okay, let me backtrack before I go on my little rant, right? The rappers back then, I think, were way more polished. Like, a lot of people want to say, like, oh, Nas is better. Yeah, Nas was more polished to me. Like, Nas's punchlines were exact. He wasn't, like, playing around on the mic. He wasn't wasting his bars, like, pretty much. Jay-Z wasted bars. Biggie wasn't wasting bars. I think they're way more polished. They're way more understanding of the quality that is needed to, you know, make something a everlasting song, which is why if you go to your average club, not a club that's like, you know, just black people, or not a club that's just white people, a club that's a mix, right, of everybody, you're going to hear the crowd get hyped when you hear older songs. Like because these older songs were made with the intention of being longer lasting. These days, the youth are making songs that don't have that much of a shelf life, but they display a bunch of talent because guess what? The competition in music is as fierce and as competitive as it's ever been. So you can't sit there and waste your time trying to make something that you think is everlasting these days because it just doesn't work that way. Now, what makes me laugh is just kind of the older generation and how it works and how funny it is and how, us in the older generation, I'm putting myself too in this category, is how we are incapable of looking in the mirror. This was us. That's the funny thing. In the 90s, 1997, 1998, people were like, look at Puff Daddy with his shiny suits. Puff Daddy is destroying the hip hop game with this person that's mixing all types of stuff. Look at Master P. This isn't real rap. Rakim was. It's happening again, guys. Like, can't we notice it's happening? So, but what I will say is this, because this happens in the NBA, this happens in the NFL. The NBA is not like it used to be. I remember in the 90s, it was so much tougher. Well, guess what? In the world we live in, right now, so many things have been enhanced. So many things have been, we don't even notice it, how much the hip hop community has been enhanced. It's gotten to the point where our expectations have become almost not fair. Like the Baby, for example. How many times have people complained about the Baby not switching up his flow? He's making good music. Like, the Baby is actually fire. His lyrics are dope. You're complaining after he's only had one album or two about him not switching up his flows. You know why you're complaining? Because majority of the music you hear these days, like Drake, like J. Cole, features amazing melodies, features a switch between different types of flows, switch melodic raps that are hella infectious, features all kinds of stuff. So when you hear somebody like the Baby, which guess what? Generation whatever, that was before millennials. Guess what? The Baby would have been a star in the 90s. Because there wasn't many people switching up their flows often. like you mentioned. It wasn't many people switching up their flows often. Like, so nowadays you complaining about the Baby because you're spoiled. So when we look at, somebody like Lil Uzi Vert, right? I look at him. Lil Uzi Vert's ability to morph. If you really pay attention, Lil Uzi Vert from song to song morphs from a rock rapper to indie pop artist to a rapper to a boom bap rapper to like a trap rapper. Like, he literally morphs so many different styles. And if you're somebody like myself, I like variety. You can have the best pizza shop on the globe, but I can't eat pizza every day. Like, I'd rather go to a place that has a whole bunch of stuff to offer where the menu's more vast. And I think that's what hip hop is right now. So I would say hip hop is in the best place it's ever been because it's so much more variety. It's so much more experimenting going on. It's so much more dynamicness. It's so much more, different topics, content. I think hip hop is in the best place it's ever been, personally.
I agree, man. But look, there are people out there like myself and probably like you who they like what they like. Like, you know what I like? Hey, I like Thai food a lot. Guess what? When I order Thai, I get the same thing for the most part. Like, for the most part. Give me some pad see-ew with beef. I might do drunken noodles here and there, but essentially them two dishes are very similar. I'm not really going out of my way. No, variety.
That's variety.
No. Variety to me would be ordering pad thai, getting the fried rice one day, the next day getting kaprao chicken, the next day getting curry rice.
Well, I thought that's what you said. That's what I do. No. That's what my fat ass does.
What I'm saying is I do that some places, but what I'm saying in certain respects, some people like what they like. So when I translate that to music, some people only like the bars. Some people only like, the methodical, conscious rap, right? They don't like when rappers are being experimental, the melody, the merging genres, the indie rock and merging punk rock with rap. And me personally, I like that in my music. Give me some switch up. That's why I like alternative R&B, because it's a play on what traditionally R&B artists are doing, and I think it just brings out the liveliness in the music. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I think a lot of times what ends up happening with the older generation, just people who are not as open-minded, is they tend to value their wants and needs over the betterment of the genre. Right? So they're selfish with it and saying, I like this, and that means that that's better, when in reality, that may not actually be better for the genre. So when you say you think hip hop is better off, is better today than it ever is, it's in the best place, I 100% agree, because artists are being more experimental. They're pushing the music forward. They're pushing the boundaries of what people traditionally know of what hip hop is. To me, those are all things that lend us to say that the genre is better, and also that the artists themselves are better than they were before. And this is the last thing I'll say. When people say today's climate is, fickle, and that artists are not really making quality music, and this, that, and the third, music is not lasting as long as it used to be, and this, that, and the third, ask yourself, is the fact that music is not, I guess I'll say, has a long shelf life, is that a product of where we are today as a society, meaning the streaming era? Or is it the music itself is not quality? Because I think it's a lazy excuse to be like, man, the music just sucks today, like, and that's why this shit's not lasting. No, I actually think it's the climate of today for the most part. Nothing lasts. I don't care what type of music it is. Nothing is lasting. You can put out a masterpiece today, and in a month it'll be gone. People will forget about it. That doesn't mean the music isn't quality.
I think in our life,
I'm debunking that whole argument. Like, I don't like when people use that to lead and say that the music is not quality, because that's not facts. It's not.
I think on our world, because I said, like I said, back in the day, there was more intent on trying to make something that's long lasting. I still believe that's not the intent of the artist today. I think their intent is more so, I'm going to make a good record and I'm going to keep it coming. But long lasting doesn't mean quality, by the way. That doesn't mean that it's more quality than the other. It just means a longer shelf life in terms of, something that I would say
it aging well. Like, basically it would
ages well. Ages well. Exactly. So, and certain things age well more than others. Like, for instance, to me, I can put Thai food in the fridge and I can eat it for like 2-3 days. It ages well. If I put freaking Papa John's in the fridge, I think the second day it'd be tasting horrible, right? Like, it doesn't taste nowhere near as good.
Bro, imagine putting a Big Mac in the refrigerator for
3 days. It doesn't age well. But that doesn't mean that when you first ate it, it didn't taste fire. You get what I'm saying? Like it doesn't mean that it didn't taste good when I first started it. It's just that some can be in the fridge longer than others.
Hey, I think we might both be hungry, man. Why we keep bringing up food?
I think I'm starving. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the music industry, the expectation has become unrealistic in a lot of, not just music. Our expectations have just become like unreal these days. And so I think because the expectations are so high, people have been forced to elevate their skill set and be more versatile as they've ever been, and more experimental. And I think that's actually contributed to great music. But,
me too.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on, man. I think we're already at the hour mark. I know we have 4 topics, but let's end it off with this next one. I think this next one can be the last one, and then we'll end the show, man. Next topic: should streaming be a priority for artists today in terms of the way they're promoting their music? I really like the way this episode's flowing. I just got to say that. Because
me too.
I mean, we talk about the evolution, right? It's almost like we're telling a story. We talk about the old school versus the new school, and look at there's so many challenges that these artists of today have to maneuver, right? Music not being the priority these days. A lot of them have to figure out creative ways to generate income. You know, what is a stream really worth? You know, India RE, allegedly, this is the reason why she boycotted Spotify during that whole Joe Rogan mess, right? In the midst of everything. She's not the only one who feels that way, but it's like, bro, music is not really paying like that. Bro, I heard a stat. This is the craziest shit I ever heard in my life. I heard a stat that said, for every 1 million streams you get, right, on a song, that's $4,500. Did you just hear what I said?
For every stream you get on a song is $400 or $500.
No. For every 1 million streams. So essentially 1 million streams is worth $4,500. So you do the math, guys, as far as if you're an artist out there, you may not even you may not even have 1 million streams. Maybe you got 10,000 for the song you just dropped. Bro, the money is thin. They're not making bread off the streams, okay? That's the point. So with that being said, a lot of things have to happen if you want to make it as an artist. But Q, I want to toss this to you. What are some of the things you think that that artists need to do outside of just obviously putting their music on streaming services in order to be successful?
Well, first and foremost, so I want to say something. When we talk, because I think a lot of people are going to listen to this episode and be like, these are weird people that don't like anything from back in the day. A lot of perspective I'm talking about is from a business perspective, right? Like from a, from what I see perspective. How many times have I came on this show and I said, yo, Future's last couple of songs have been bad. Like, I prefer Jay-Z every single time over Future. Every single time. I am a Jay-Z fan. I am a lukewarm Future fan. He's okay to me. But I see what I see. Like, I see it. Like, I see that Future is a big influence, and what he's done to the hip-hop game is there, especially from a business standpoint, right? And then the other topic, right? We talk about this generation. I grew up on 90s hip-hop. I grew up on 2000s hip-hop. I love that era of hip-hop music. That's what made me love hip-hop. You too, Uch. That's what made you love hip-hop. 90s hip-hop, 2000s hip-hop. But at the end of the day, from a business standpoint, the rappers and musicians of today have a little more to offer than what the older generations had to offer. It just is what it is. I like what I like, but I see what I see. In this situation, I hear what you're saying. Streaming only gets you, $500 after 1 million. You're at the mercy of, companies like Spotify and Apple Music. I get it, yada, yada, yada. But from me, somebody from a business standpoint, you're not even going to be looked at if you're not on Spotify. You're not even going to be considered serious if you're not on Spotify, Apple Music. How do I know? I own a music site. I have a place where people submit music to me. If it's really hard for me to get excited about your product if you're not on Spotify, I can't add you to my playlist. So the money aspect is there, right? They don't make enough money from streaming, but it's almost like you need that for your resume. And I think a lot of times musicians look at their resumes and say, oh, I got heat. Well, if you can't particularly point out how your heat is being received, or if you can't necessarily, state, you can't just give me a YouTube link, or you can't go, I'm not going on your website. Spotify is a way to verify how, what's the word I want to use? How real you are, you're on mute. How, there's a word I want to use. Legit.
Really, what I was saying was legitimized. It's a way for you to
legitimize how serious you are as a musician because you showed up on Spotify and Apple Music. So though it doesn't make you the money per se directly, it definitely is making you money from like a hockey assist. you're not getting direct money from Spotify, but there's so many companies that won't look at you unless you're on Spotify and Apple Music.
Yeah, I wanna say this. I wanna jump in because so again, shout out to Mimi, aka Music Junkies, for throwing us the assist on this topic. Salute to you. Dope writer. You know what I'm saying? She's a part of the squad. So yeah, y'all go check her out and see what she got going on. But I want to advance the convo, man, because you're totally right. You're totally right. If you're not on these platforms, it probably does more harm than good. But I think the meat of the question or discussion should be, in addition to being on streaming services, what should artists be trying to do in order to generate revenue or increase their brand awareness or to just essentially be more than an artist who's simply on Spotify? And if you're not doing crazy streams, you may not be able to make a living off your music. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about. And I also want to say, we are not some dudes who's just out here talking. Like, we interface with artists and artists on a regular basis. And like you said, Q, whether it's through Ratings Game, whether it's through this podcast. So if you're listening to us and you're an artist, dope. We appreciate y'all for being a part of this. If you're just somebody who's casually listening, send this to somebody that you may know who's trying to do music. This shit may help somebody. So at the end of the day, there's other things that need to happen, right? Whether we're talking, getting creative with things that you're selling. Do you have to sell merch, right? You may be able to, I think one person who's doing it amazingly, let's say, is St. John, right? If you know anything about St. John, it's debatable whether or not he will ever become the superstar that his talent, I would say, warrants. But as he was building his own brand and persona, trying to become a more serious artist in the game, he developed a clothing line called Christian Sex Club that is a whole brand alongside of what he has going on. He sells merch. I'm talking hoodies, every possible item of memorabilia you could possibly think of. I think that's a great way to basically establish your brand, get some type of disposable income, bring yourself up to a level where you could probably support yourself as a artist, solely as an artist. Also, vinyls. I know that's like an antique thing to do. Some people are not really into the vinyl game because I know I'm not a super vinyl. I'm not a vinyl head, but I know a lot of people are into that. If you're somebody who crafts music at the level in which you think it's not a fly-by-night type situation, like, in other words, kind of going back to what we were talking about, your music has longevity. It has the ability to last the test of time. You're putting out music that should not be forgotten about in 2 weeks. Then maybe you want to become a vinyl artist and start offering that, because chances are, if you believe that and your core artists or your core fans think that, there's somebody who's out there who might be trying to buy that from you, who might be looking at the album you just dropped as an antique or something that should be preserved over time, right? There's different things that you can sell. There's different opportunities that you could probably get into, whether we're talking brand deals, licensing your music. There's a lot of stuff you can get into. But I think that what a lot of artists make the mistake of is just assume that because their music is on Spotify or on Apple Music or on YouTube, they've made it. Like, damn, yo, I'm here. I've done everything I can do, guys. Go stream my music. Bro, first off, there's a good chance nobody's streaming it. That's number one. And then number two, how do you retain people? You got to be offering them other things, right, Q?
Yeah, it's a resume builder, but it doesn't mean that it's the end all be all. Like, you put it on there and it's that's it. You're good to go. You have to do the work, because I say this all the time. Like, you want the people to fall in love with you. Like, and how you get them to fall in love with you varies. Like, another I think very lucrative way of is to do shows, right? You negotiate with people. Hey, I can come to I've seen artists pop up at Potbellies. Potbellies always offers people a chance to perform, right? And so do stuff like that. Connect with clubs, bars. I can do some live shows. I can do some covers. And that's another thing. Covers, especially if you're a singer. Go out there, do covers. Do a cover of, Taylor Swift's new song, do a cover of Usher's new song, whatever, put it on YouTube. YouTube probably pays more consistently than Spotify and all these other people pay. If you can get the people to fall in love with your voice, because I think the big thing that artists do a lot of times is they will send you a song and they assume that we are going to fall in love with who you are automatically. But in reality, the way it works is we might fall in love with one aspect of you at a time. So, for instance, I'll give you a good example. Like somebody like a Doja Cat, right? I didn't fall in love with Doja Cat like the first time I heard a song by her. I said she has talent. I said I love her voice first. Then the more and more I heard her voice, I was like, okay, I really love her voice. Then I was like, yo, I love how she can switch between rapping and singing. Now I like her voice and I like her rapping and singing. Then I'm like, wow, I like the topics that she covers. All right, I now fall in love with the whole person that's Doja Cat. That can take a year or two. That takes her hustling. That takes her working. And so I think so many people think, okay, here's my whole package. Here's who I am. Fall in love with me. Either you love me or you're not. Nah, sometimes you got to do little things like covers, right? Like kudos to our guy, Kid Travis. Kid Travis has blown up on YouTube because he does a lot of covers. And you fall in love with his voice immediately, and that makes you want to check out his original content. I see him doing big things really, really soon because he got people to love him for his voice. So, I just think that, it's not the end all be all for artists. You just got to be a little patient and just understand, there's several different avenues that you can make somebody fall in love with you.
100%. So 2 things I got to say, and then, maybe we can wrap up, man. I think it's been a dope show, honestly. I really enjoyed this. Number 1, guys, artists, please stop sending links to people without any explanation. Stop telling me, don't send me a link and say, hey, check this out. I would really love to know what you think. Why would I click on it? I don't know. If I don't know who you are, I don't know the type of music you make. Why am I going out of my way to click on the link? Right? I think that's just a bad strategy to get people to try to listen to your music. If anything, if you're going to send somebody a link, tell them why they should listen. Tell them what value your song brings to the table, right? If you're making a song that's sad and it's about going through mental health, maybe your text should be, yo, listen, I made this song for anybody that's out there going through da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I really think that, if you're somebody or you know anybody that might be going through something, this song could help. To me, that type of introduction might intrigue me to actually hit play as opposed to just sending a link. That's number 1. Number 2, going back to the shows you were talking about, bro, how many times have you and I been going out in D.C., we be on U Street, we see somebody performing on the street. Bro, that is got to be one of the most genius things to do, is to just pull up in a crowded area and just start showing who you are and perform your talent. If you are really that person, if you are really him, as the kids like to say these days, if you are really him, people are going to notice and they're going to be like, damn, I need to know who this person is.
Yeah,
that's easy way to get people really rocking with you.
That's easy way to support. There you go. Easy. I think so many people think that I got to get like 10,000 people at a time. Nah, like sometimes it starts with 1, then it starts, then 2, then 3, then a couple. You think what we did? We started out like Ill-Advised Wise Guys started out with 100,000. I mean, I didn't send this to no high school, college friends. Like this is something that each. One by one, you just keep growing and you just keep, hoping that, it can keep continuing to grow one by one, and then you'll get to where you need to get to. But I will say a funny story about the submission stuff. So there was one time I was looking in the message box and there was some rapper that sent me something. And he sent me a audio message. Yeah. And he said, yo, bruh, you about to get this work, bruh. Like, I'm tired. I'm making this a no-fly zone. From now on, New York is a no-fly zone for you. I swear. This is audio message. He said, "You gonna get this work." Then he started playing his music from his his radio player in his car. He was like, "Yeah, you hear this? Yeah, it's a no-fly zone." So I got a no-fly zone in New York. Long story short,
hey, listen, was the song good or not?
What do you think?
I don't know, man. Dude may have been right. You never know, man. You never know. That shit might have been a banger. It might, hey, you never know, man. Like I listen, I have clicked on random links before, and some of the songs have been really damn good.
Sometimes it's good.
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
like I'm not. Good. To me, that doesn't really say it's bad. It's just more so.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was. I think it was pretty good. Guess what? It caught my attention. So that was something unique. It caught my attention. I was like, I was shook. I was like, yo, wait, who got beef with me? No fly zone. Have you ever been told there's a no fly zone for you?
Not in my face. Hell nah. Nobody's ever said that to me. Nah.
There's a no fly zone. I was like, yo, are you kidding me? I like the bagels in New York.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, here's the last thing I'll say. I swear this is the last thing I'll say. Like, I want to reiterate, we're not experts in this, right? Like, we're doing our thing. We're trying to build our brands. We're doing everything that we're basically telling you guys you should probably do if you're an artist out there. So listen, each one teach one. If we learn something we think it might help y'all, boom, we giving y'all our perspective. But hey, at the end of the day, do your thing, man. If you're being effective at it, keep doing it, But the point is, don't just think that your song being on streaming services is going to warrant you becoming the next it. There's a whole lot of other stuff you got to really tap into. And yeah, man, hopefully this conversation helps at least one person, to be honest with you. Bro, if we could actually help one person,
it will.
I consider that a W. Yeah.
At least they just hear it, and internalize it,
There you go. All right, bro. I know we said we're going to do Ill and Not So Vibes, but I don't really feel like it. We're at the end of the show. Yo, man. Hey, executive call. It's like, nah.
Yes.
Yo, I think we've reached the end of the show. I hope you guys stayed and really enjoyed the content if you made it this far. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Wherever you are listening to this, share this with anyone that you know who you think this will entertain or help. And as always, if you are giving advice, make sure it is ill. I don't know why I just did that little countdown. It didn't make any sense.
Yes, sir.
Bow.